Now tonight on To The Point, we are breaking down radicalization. Just how possible is it for members to be completely bound by belief? That's the question we are asking. And that conversation and the day's stories are coming your way shortly. But first, let's take a look at the highlights. Wedding triumph turns to tragedy after 6 members of a wedding party die in a freak accident. Just how did it happen?
Tulikuwa tunaimba kwa sababu ya bibi harusi, tulikuwa tunasifu mahali hatukujua ya kwamba kuna shimo. Na baadaye ile shimo iliweza kupasuka kwa sababu watu walikuwa wengi sana na tukaweza kuzama ndani ya hiyo shimo.
Third time's the charm for the president as the third visit to Kisii yields grudging support from firebrand Azimio leaders like Governor Simba Arati.
Mimi kabisa sina shida kabisa na ndugu zangu watu wa upinzani. They are a constitutional entity.
Even as the president extends a guarded olive branch to Azimio.
Sasa leo tunasikia kwamba makanisa 5 yamefungwa. Kama kuna makosa ndani ya kanisa, mkumbuke mahali pale kuna washirika ambao wajiwezi hata kutembea.
Reactions abound after the government's decision to deregister the churches associated with controversial preachers Ezekiel Odero and Paul Mackenzie, among others. Welcome to TV47 Weekend Edition this Sunday. We're glad you could join us. Of course, remember you can engage with us on our social media handles at TV47 News on Twitter, TV47 Kenya on Facebook, and my handle on Twitter or X is at Grace Kuria KE. Our sign language interpreter tonight is Catherine Simaloy, and my name is Grace Kuria Kanja. Once again, welcome to the broadcast. Now, President William Ruto has publicly announced that he has no issue with the talks between his government and the opposition, provided they follow the constitution. This emerged at a politics-dominated at a church, that is interdenominational church service, which was attended by the president in Nyaribari Church on Sunday on a trip seen as a charm offensive at the opposition's perceived backyard, a trip in which also showcased a surprising arm of support from the prominent Azimio governor. Moige William reports.
This Sunday, President William Ruto made a return to Kisii County, barely a month after his tour to the region, this time to attend an interdenominational church service. President Ruto was on his 3rd visit to the county since he took power. This time, he came with lots of goodies, promising more development to the residents of Kisii land. But unsurprisingly, politics took center stage. Chiefly, politics of maandamano and dialogue.
Nawaambia ndugu zangu viongozi wa Kisii, please, as was said by all the leaders here, let us work together. Wacha tuheshimiane, tushirikiane, tupange mambo ya viongozi hawa, ya wananchi hawa. Mambo yetu ya viongozi tatokea hapo mbele, wananchi hawa watatuamua.
Before the president took to the podium, earlier speakers spouted politics galore, revisiting the 2022 presidential poll that pitted the then deputy president against the Azimio la Umoja leader Raila Odinga. However, the president kept off the matter, instead calling for unity of the country. It was the announcement that he also has no issue with the highly debated talks between his government and the opposition that captured the imagination of those in attendance, but his support was conditional.
Lakini ile mina wauliza viongozi wote, tafadhali tusitumie watoto wa Kenya, wananchi wa Kenya kupigana.
Leaders present, surprisingly led by Kisii Governor and Azimio stalwart Simba Arati, urged President Ruto to remain focused on delivering his promises to Kenyans and not to be distracted by what they called noise coming from the Azimio coalition. Furthermore, calling for sobriety in the political realm of the nation.
Na kwamba kuna baba anaongoza maandamano na sisi tunafuata yeye. Wewe kama kiongozi wa nchi, tafadhali ita mzee kana yeye. Sisi hatutaki nusu mkate.
On maandamano, the leaders remain divided over the allegations of use by police of excessive force on protesters. The president also avoided the matter, with the Raila-led Azimio side maintaining scores of lives had been lost in the anti-government protest.
Napo mobilize vijana tuwaambie maandamano beba kitambaa nyeupe sio mawe. na usibebe panga.
Can we learn to forgive each other and learn to work with each other?
Leaders and Kenyans were called up to have patience as the government of the day continues to work to bring development across the nation. Mwige William, TV47.
Thank you, Mwige William, for that. Now, the Kenya National Union of Teachers, NAT, is raising serious concern over how long-term security issues in the northeastern region affect teachers and education activities as a whole. This even as the region still suffers low uptake of teacher training for indigenous teachers to fill the gaps left by fleeing teachers.
The region has witnessed mass exodus of teachers following issues of insecurity, which has badly affected the education sector, something that has had a negative effect on the national examinations. NAT Assistant National Treasurer Kulo Mohammed Sheikh said that teachers cannot deliver well if they do not feel safe in the schools that they teach.
Unless we take care of this issue of security completely, we'll continue having this problem. This will be a perennial problem.
Speaking during the Garissa branch annual general meeting, Kulo said even though the government has put in extra measures to secure the region, more needs to be done to protect teachers and schools.
I want to appreciate what they have done so far, but I want to do further intervention.
He, however, thanked the president for the task force on education reforms, adding that teachers fully support the implementation of all the recommendations.
These reforms they have now given to us after collecting views of Kenyans is very important, and as a union, we want to be in the forefront of this implementation.
Garissa Governor Nadhif Jama, who was also in attendance, added that insecurity remains a challenge in the region and important sectors like education are highly affected, adding that government should ensure that schools, teachers and students from every region in Kenya should be protected.
You people therefore to go and ensure that mwalimu from down country is properly protected there in the way we were in beyond.
The governor, however, regretted that the locals in the region had refused to enroll for teaching courses even after his administration promised scholarships for students to pursue the courses.
This issue of affirmatively pushing our boys and girls to teaching, that is the only real solution.
Dori Mahita, TV47.
Thank you for that. Now, Azimio la Umoja Coalition Deputy Leader Martha Karua has accused leaders from the Mount Kenya region of being gagged by the Kenya Kwanza administration against fighting for their people's rights. Karua criticized the leaders for allegedly prioritizing their own interests over the welfare of the public, charging that they were coerced into abandoning the one man, one vote, one shilling drive at the recent Sagana State Lodge meeting and instead took what she called a, listen to this, a one man, one plate, one soda mantra approach. Karua spoke while attending a Sunday service at the Witaithia African Independent Pentecostal Church of Africa, accompanied by fellow Azimio leader and former Ndaragwa MP Jeremiah Kioni and ex-Mungiki sector leader Maina Njenga, among others.
Kenya walinyamazishwa wakati walikuwa kule Sagana. Wakaogopa kusema one man, one vote, one shilling. One
man, one vote, one shilling.
Iyo ingine?
Wakasema one man, one plate, one soda.
One soda.
Yes.
You know, wakasahau masilahi ya watu wa Mount Kenya. Sisi tukiwa viongozi wa Kamwene, hatutaogopa.
Tulikuwa tukisema kwamba ile inatufaa kama wale wengine ni mambo ya one man, one vote, one shilling. Wale walioenda kule Sagana walikuja na msemo mpya wa one man, one plate, one soda. Hiyo haina maana kwa watoto ambao tuko nao hapa kanisani. Tumekuwa na watoto zaidi ya 100. Wanatarajia kwamba sisi viongozi tutajimundu ili waweze kusoma. Sisi wote, na ni vizuri kusema ya kwamba wale ambao wako uongozini, sisi ambao unatuona hapa, it is the first generation of leaders ambao wamefunzwa na Ron hapa Kenya. And it is very unfair ati ya kwamba tunaweza kuwa sisi are the first generation alafu tuwanyime vizazi zetu nafasi kama ile. You can never help a country if you make education unaffordable. the starting point, elimu, lazima kila mtu aweze kwenda shule. Na ndio tulikuwa tunasema pale beleni, yetu ilikuwa kuhakikisha kwamba elimu ni bure kwa kila sehemu, from primary school to secondary school, university, all the way.
And survivors of the tragedy that happened at Fort Jesus area of Ruiru in Kiambu County, killing 6 people at a wedding yesterday, have narrated how their ordeal occurred. Let's get more from Wanji Sustin.
A gloomy morning after a wedding function on Saturday in the morning, after 6 members of the bridal party died in a freak accident while collecting the bride to head to the wedding venue. Dan Maura, the master of ceremony for the wedding between Charles Simori and Susan Wanjira, describes their joyous journey to pick the bride, totally unaware of the danger that awaited them, revealing that the bride, who was ready and set for her big day, escaped death by a whisker. 17 celebrants, including the MC, plunged into a 15-foot deep underground tank. Joshua Kinyo, the designated camera person of the event, survived from the incident by a miracle but lost his equipment.
Aliyekuwa anaolewa aliponea chupu kwa sababu alikuwa amejiandaa na hata maids ama flower girls walikuwa washaanza kutoka, lakini wakati tu anataka kutoka kwa mlango diposa hiyo kisanga ilifanyika, kwa sababu hata yeye alikuwa apande kwa jukwaa ama apande hapo juu, kwa sababu hapo kulikuwa kama ni platform, lakini baadaye shimo ikaboromoka ya kwamba mipango yetu na yeye haikuwa hiyo. Sasa ilikuja kwake kigafra.
Uzito wa pale kulikuwa kumewekwa kafuro kidogo, ilizama na tukajikuta tuko kwa shimo ndani na tukataabika sana kutoka kwa hiyo shimo, lakini tunashukuru Mungu ni kwa sababu alitubakisia uhai. Kamera zangu zikamalizika zote, zimu yangu ikaisha, na sasa nimeomba Mungu tu anisaidie na ingine.
Kiambu women representative Anne Wamratha, who later joined the Mori and Wanjira for the wedding, called on builders in the county to strictly follow the stipulated guidelines to avert further tragedies. She further announced the county government plans to cater for the burial of the 6 victims of the tragedy.
And all I know is that we are going to get full information by tomorrow. We will have known how many people will need to be given a proper send-off, because this was not the intentions of the family. They were just coming for a wedding. They knew they would come and celebrate and then go back home. Unfortunately, the tragedy happened. We'll be together with the people of Gatondo North and the people of Ruiru, who have also been joined in this tragedy, and we want to believe that we're going to walk this journey with them.
Wanji Sustin, TV47.
Thank you, Wanji Sustin, for that. Let's take you to Nakuru now, where a mathematics and computer science alumni of Murang'a University, that's my county by the way, has innovated an application that allows the voter to track the entire voting process. An idea, he says, will enhance voting among eligible voters as it eliminates hours of queuing on voting days and manipulation of numbers, as well as other election malpractice. Chichi Josephine with more on that story.
As the digital space becomes increasingly open to all, innovation is enabling aggressive adopters of technology to add value to existing tools as a way to find sustainable solutions to problems of the world. The ongoing pressure on the government from the opposition to agree to an audit of the 2022 presidential election results has brought a renewed focus on transparency in electoral systems, a situation that has perhaps inspired young innovators to aim to add value to these.
Servers have not been opened. When we went to the Supreme Court, our lawyers demanded that we should be given access to the servers.
Johnston Karaoke, a 27-year-old mathematics and computer science graduate in Nakuru, has invented what he calls a voter-centered integrated information system that promises a fully free and fair election process, a system he calls the e-election.
Application inaitwa e-election. E stands for electric election, whereby uchaguzi utakuwa unafanya kwa mitandao instead of the manual system.
Johnston Karaoke says his application allows the voter to track the entire voting process.
Kutakuwa na campaigns hapo, kutakuwa na nominations hapo, then uchaguzi itafanyika tu hapo kwa hiyo simu.
An idea he says will enhance voting among voters as it eliminates hours of queuing on voting days and manipulation of numbers.
Most of the people hawataki kwenda kupanga taini huko kwa polling stations. Second, the entire process ina take long sana. Pata mtu alienda asubuhi na ana vote jioni, then nikaona a lot of time inatumika kwa kuhesabu votes, so nikaona hapo hivyo kuna gap hapo hivyo kuna challenge ya watu kunyang'anywa votes zao, so I had to come up with a system that itakuwa ina work vizuri for everybody, from the voter all the way up to the IBC system.
Karaoke goes checks his equipment vigilantly every morning. He is alive to possibilities of hacking, and however, he assures users of safety.
For now, it's a prototype that ningependa sana ikuwe embraced by the government, whereby now, since I have the entire idea in theory and part of it I've done, so that the government can give me a team, so that we can now come up with a system that is bulletproof. But so far, I've done most of the work.
The app is equipped with analytical tools that enable advanced machine learning, ability to process hundreds of data points and create verifiable results.
What will be happening, if you want to vie, you just go to the IBC. They will look at your documents if you are eligible to vie, and then they give me your name, and then tunaiweka kwa application. So anybody that in case unataka kujua ni nani anavaa in your area, utakuwa tunaingia kwa hiyo system.
A voter will need an identity card number, a password or fingerprint, and a verification code to log in and vote for a desired candidate for each elective position.
The rule is unaenda hapo unachagua governor, then unachagua party, and then you select one candidate. Ukimaliza kuchagua governor, inakupeleka kwa senator. Same thing. One party, one candidate. Then unaenda kwa women rep. Once umemaliza up until kwa MCA, itakuletea a list of all those people that umeselect. Ukifeel uko sawa na whatever you are seeing, you just cast your vote.
The concept, he says, is tailored to allow a voter to create a foolproof account and vote at a place of convenience on the elections day.
In this system, we don't need ballot box. We don't need ballot papers. Voting process will take, I'm very sure the entire process will take less than a day, because it only takes you few seconds to cast your vote. Then it's very cheap, because we budget ya kununua ballot papers, hiyo budget yote hakuna.
The tech enthusiast says he is willing to share the e-election idea and other ideas with like-minded entities in the tech space and the IEBC in a bid to bridge existing gaps in the election process which trigger mistrust and sometimes conflicts.
Wakati tuifanya census, all those people who are above the age of 10 onwards walikuwa around 37 million back in 2019, which means from 2019 to 2027, that's around 8 years. So anyone that was 10 years atakuwa 18, so atakuwa amefikisha age ya kuvote. So most of the people will vote. So that's why I'm encouraging the government to embrace this system. Plus itakuwa very cheap, because the only thing the government will be needing, it will be more servers only, because saizi kila mtu akona simu.
For karaoke, the digital space will be a marketplace of ideas for many decades to come, and it is upon people to continuously stimulate ideas about effective use of the fast-growing space to make a difference in their lives.
The family wrangles.
Chichi Josephine, TV47.
A beautiful innovation piece there. Thank you, Chichi Josephine. Let's move on. And hundreds of people continue to throng a New Life Prayer Center Church, which is led by controversial preacher Ezekiel Odero, despite the government's move to deregister it. This as the task force probing Shakahola massacre is set to table its findings and recommendations anytime from this coming week. George Maringa reports.
Through a Gazette notice dated August 3rd, 2023, the Registrar of Societies deregistered Pastor Ezekiel Odero's New Life Prayer Center together with 4 other churches. However, Sunday's activities within and around the church precincts painted a different picture. Roads leading to the church were busy as people arrived, while nearby business remained open. Despite this sense of normalcy, some faithful expressed concern over being limited from accessing the buildings.
Tumekuombea ya kwamba ukuwe rais. Tunakuomba ya kwamba utusaidie kwa sababu ninakumbuka ya kwamba tukikwambia kwamba utakuwa rais, na ninajua ya kwamba wewe unajua ya kwamba mtu akiwa katika Kristo ni benefit gani huyo mtu ana.
They want the government and affected churches to hold dialogue so as to cancel the deregistration.
Tangu juzi jana kwamba wanampokonya kibali, lakini watu wameingia kanisani. So hata sisi tunashtarisha tuingie tusikie tutaambiwa lini. Hata hivyo tumeshtuka kuwaona hapa tena leo. Tukashindwa ni nini nyingine tena, tutaingia tena leo tufungiwe.
As lawyers Cliff Ombeta and Dunstan Omari are scheduled to file a petition in court objecting the deregistration. In the meantime, a section of leaders have welcomed the deregistration of the said churches.
Serikali inafanya uchunguzi na serikali inafanya kazi ya kulinda maisha ya raia wake, na jambo lolote iwe ni chama, iwe ni kanisa, iwe ni nini ambao inaweza kuhatarisha maisha ya wananchi wa Kenya, lazima serikali kuchukua hatua.
If the government has spotted 2 or 3, 4 which needs some scrutiny, I don't think there's something wrong with that.
And what surprised us is that when we were engaging the charges, they were against the so-called regulation by government. And what we are doing as a committee is not really to regulate religious groups or organizations. What we wanted to do is to identify the challenges. Why did we have Shakahola?
Lakini siku hizi makanisa mengine kama ile mnajua kule Kilifi imekuwa mahali ya kuua watu wetu. Because of that, serikali ilikuwa imesema kuna freedom of worship. That freedom of worship is enshrined in the constitution. But the issue of freedom does not mean you are given freedom to go and mislead Kenyans, to go and create cults so that you are able to kill the citizens of this country. That is murder.
The leaders were speaking at different functions in Baringo County. In the meantime, sources have intimated to TV47 that the Senate committee probing the deaths is approaching the finish line of writing its report. The committee is expected to retreat and prepare the final report for tabling at the floor of the Senate. George Maringa, TV47, Nairobi.
Right, time to get to the world of sports now, and the national women's volleyball team Malkia Strikers was engulfed with double joy after dominating their Pool B fixtures of the African Volleyball Championships and receiving news that their head coach Paul Bitok was voted in as the deputy president of the Kenya Volleyball Federation. Now Malkia Strikers topped Pool B after securing a 3-1 sets victory over Morocco with scores of 25-16, 25-23, 25-22 and 25-14 at the Palais Polyvalent de Sports Arena. Middle blocker Triza Atuka scored a game-high 16 points for Kenya, while Veronica Adhiambo and Sharon Chumba combined for 28 points for Malkia Strikers in the victory. And Kiambu Golf Club's Michael Karanga was Sunday afternoon crowned the champion of the 2023 Kenya Amateur Stroke Play Golf Tournament that culminated at the Par 72 Karen Golf and Country Club. Karanga registered his 10th win of the season after cutting 11 points to emerge victorious ahead of Malik Tamur, who cutted 5 points as Godfrey Nsubuga settled for third. Karanga, who is still targeting to break the national record for the most victories, currently standing at 11 championships set by Kopan Timbe, will miss the next round of the tournament, which will be held in Kisumu, as he will be taking part in the Egypt Amateur Championships in 2 weeks' time.
This has been my dream all the years. As you know, I was targeting to win the Kenya Amateur Match Play, which I did 2 weeks ago. Now here we come. I've won the Kenya Stroke Play Championship, and by the grace of God, I also happens to be the winner of KAGC 2023. Coming to on the course record issues, I think you play with how others competition looked like. Like now, the competition was worth playing 10 under. So next year, if the competition will be worth to play 20 under, we will just play 20 under.
And youth from warring communities in Baringo have united in sports in a bid to build cohesion and end decades of banditry as part of many ways of finding lasting solutions to banditry. Retrogressive cultures such as banditry have been synonymous with communities living in Baringo for over 5 decades, where many people have lost their lives, families displaced, schools closed, and hindering development in the county. The 6-month-long tournament, which started from grassroots level within villages towards sub-county and county level, was concluded with the main aim of bringing cohesion and peace among the youths in Baringo.
Now, there's a policy of our county that we want now to engage all the youth in every sub-county. Teatei, which is the neighboring sub-county to Baringo South, we have also potential young men who sometimes engage in this cattle rustling with their energies, but are unable to really engage in this kind of games.
Utakutania kiwanja, mtu anacheza mpaka anachoka. Na akichoka, hakuna kitu atakuja tena kukosana na mwingine. Unaenda tuenda kulala, so hakuna kitu utafanya. Hata uizi ya mali yetu imeenda chini tena, sio kama mbeleni. Sasa tunashukuru Samati kwa sababu ametukumbuka sana.
And Kenya earned her first medal at the ongoing 2023 World Athletics Championships after Daniel Simiyu Ebenyo finished the men's 10,000-meter race in the second position behind Uganda's Joshua Cheptegei in Budapest Sunday evening. Ebenyo, who overcame a series of injuries ahead of the event, started the race slow, however sprung to life at the bell in the last lap to cross the finish line in a time of 27 minutes and 52.6 seconds.
Is starting to close. Aragawi's tired. Ebenyo coming back into the mix. He now desperate to add this crown to his collection. But Cheptegei wants a third consecutive title. What a run! He's pulling away. Joshua Cheptegei with arguably the best performance of his career. The Ethiopians tried everything, but they couldn't stop him. The silverback delivers again for Uganda. A third consecutive gold. It's a clean start and what a race. A huge roar from the expectant crowd. Great start from Coleman, we expect that. Can Lyles come through? It's very, very tight. It's Noah Lyles. The champion roars once more. Tobogo, but he's not quite the man he used to be. Noah Lyles promised us gold and he's delivered. He has roared with the heart of the greatest.
Right, and we're due for our first commercial break here on TV47 Weekend Edition. Stay with us. When we come back, we have that conversation I told you about on religious radicalization. Let's take that break. Stay with us.
Welcome to the Mwai Kibaki Convention Center, the premier events venue. Our state-of-the-art facilities are designed to meet all your needs, from large-scale conferences to intimate meetings and everything in between. Located in the heart of Thika, the Mwai Kibaki Convention Center offers stunning views of the city skyline and is easily accessible from all major transportation hubs. Our facility features ample parking, free Wi-Fi, advanced audiovisual equipment, and our technical team is always on hand to ensure your event runs smoothly and seamlessly. Don't take our word for it. Make your next event unforgettable at the Mwai Kibaki Convention Center. Contact us today for bookings and reservations. Email multimedia@mku.ac.ke or call us on 0708 212204 or 0727 441733 or 0721 438 629 to learn more about our services and book your event. Radio 47 tuko nawe mchana kutwa na usiku kucha. 95.5 Kitale. Tunavuma na bado. Do you want to advertise your business or product and you are on a budget? Then Marquee Africa is the site for you. To advertise, upload a picture or video clip of your business or product and let the clicks get you clients. Get 4,000 clicks for as low as 1,000 bob. Get the app on the Google Play Store or iOS App Store or visit the website www.marquee.africa. Terms and conditions apply.
How much? No. For a ride?
We're going to town, not another continent!
For that price, we'd rather walk.
It's a rip-off! Our flight was cheaper.
Seriously, don't you have a heart?
That thing? Of course it doesn't. Rather deal with real people. Download InDrive, agree on a fair price with your driver and say goodbye to unfair rides. InDrive. People driven.
Hi, hi!
Get ready for a heartwarming experience like never before. Starting this Sunday on Sea for Sunday, you are cordially invited to the Royal Assembly Church.
When you understand spiritual principles, you take charge on the earthly realm. Jesus paid the price for you and I to bring us unto the Father, to have a relationship with Him.
You can pursue any other thing in life, but if you are not in sync with God's plan for your own life, you will not have fulfillment.
Join us at the Royal Assembly Church and let the spirit of togetherness fill